What happened to Seals and Crofts?
Both Jim Seals and Dash Crofts were born in Texas, in Sydney for Seals and Cisco for Crofts. Crofts met him when he was a drummer in a local band. Seals later joined Dean Beard and the Crew Cats, where he played saxophone. Crofts then joined Seals in the band. They came to Los Angeles with Beard to join the Champs, but they didn't do so until the group's Tequila hit number 1 in 1958. In 1959, Seals was a member of Eddie Cochran's touring band before Eddie Cochran passed away a couple years later. Brenda Lee recorded Seals' composition It's Never Too Late as the B-side for US Billboard number 6 single You Can Depend on Me in 1961. Despite this, It's Never Too Late charted at number 101 on Billboard and number 100 on Cashbox for the week ending April 8, 1961. When the single was published in the United Kingdom, the sides were flipped. However, the single failed to chart, at that time only a top 50 listing. Seals, Crofts, Glenn Campbell, and Jerry Cole quit the Champs in 1963 to establish Glenn Campbell and the GCs, a band that performed at the Crossbow in Van Nuys, California. The band only lasted a few years before the members decided to go their separate ways. Crofts returned to Texas while Seals joined a band called the Dawnbreakers, a reference to the book The Dawnbreakers, which tells the story of the Baha'i Faith's beginnings. Crofts later returned to California to form the Dawnbreakers with Seals, and both Seals and Crofts were introduced to the Baha'i Faith and became members. After becoming devout Baha'is, they began to incorporate references to and passages from Baha'i scriptures into their songs. When they performed in concert, they frequently stayed on stage afterward to discuss the faith, while local Baha'is distributed material to anyone interested. Following the Dawnbreakers' demise, the two decided to form a duo, with Seals playing guitar, saxophone, and violin, and Crofts playing guitar and mandolin. They got a contract with Talent Associates record division in 1969 and issued 2 albums, the second of which reached number 122 on the Billboard 200 chart in October 1970. Seals married Ruby Jean Anderson in 1970, and Crofts married fellow Dawnbreaker Billy Lee Day in 1969. In August 1971, the duo signed a new contract with Warner Brothers Records. Their debut album with their new label did not chart, but their second, Summer Breeze, did, reaching number 7 in 1972. The RIAA awarded the record a gold disc in December 1972 after it sold over 1 million copies. Hummingbird peaked at number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 15 on the Cashbox Top 100 in the United States. Hummingbird was a greater adult contemporary hit, peaking at number 12 in the United States and number 3 in Canada. Diamond Girl was released by Warner Brothers in 1973. The record was also a gold seller, and it marked the pinnacle of their career. In July 1973, the title song hit number 6 on the charts, followed by We May Never Pass This Way Again, which reached number 21. In 1974, the controversial Unborn Child was released. Seals and Crofts' title song, written shortly after Roe v. Wade, expressed their anti-abortion stance, posing a major problem for radio stations. Some stations outlawed it, but others broadcasted it over and over. Despite the criticism and the lack of a top 40 single, the album went gold. On April 6, 1974, the duo performed at the California Jam Festival in Ontario, California. The performance, which drew over 200,000 people, featured acts from the 1970s such as Black Sabbath, Eagles, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Deep Purple, Earth, Wind & Fire, Black Oak, Arkansas, and Rare Earth. Parts of the show were broadcast on ABC television in the United States, allowing the duo to reach a wider audience. I'll Play For You, published in 1975 and featuring the number 18 hit title tune, was also a gold seller, and their multi-platinum selling Grace Hits, issued later that year, was their most successful album. With the song Get Closer, the title track from their 1976 album, the team made a triumphant return to the charts. The bridge was sung by Carolyn Willis of the R&B vocal trio Honeycomb, and it reached number 6 in July of that year. Willis also toured with them in 1976, resulting in the live CD Sedan Village. On their final album, Traces, the pair released a new version of this song in 2004. Juliet Seals Crosley and Lua Crofts, their daughter, sing on this version. With Nights Are Forever Without You, Jim Seals' brother England Dan had a number 10 hit at the same time. Taking It Easy, released in 1978, saw the two expand out and experiment with the new sounds, notably the disco-influenced You're the Love, which charted at number 18. However, their gold-selling days were over at this point. They contributed to the album Lotte Tree in 1979, which was a narrated history of their Baha'i faith that contained songs by them and other singers. However, it was only distributed through Baha'i media outlets. Their final album for Warner Brothers, The Longest Road, was released in 1980. After a long and successful music career in the 1970s, the two were dropped by Warner Brothers in 1980. As a result, they made the decision to take a break from music. Despite the fact they were no longer formally a duo in the 1980s, they continued to perform at Baha'i events, including a World Peace performance for the film and music community at the Baha'i Center in Los Angeles in February 1989. They then went on to promote the Baha'i Peace document on Canadian radio stations and certain American talk shows. Crofts resides in Mexico, Australia, and then Nashville, Tennessee, where he performed country music and released singles on the side. He now lives in the Texas Hill Country on a ranch. Seals moved to Costa Rica in 1980 and lived on a coffee farm there, as well as in Nashville and southern Florida on and off. Seals and Crofts officially rejoined in 1991 and resumed their tour schedule until disbanding a year later. Crofts released a solo CD named Today in 1998, which featured re-recordings of Seals and Crofts' songs. Traces was released in 2004 after the duo reunited and recorded their first new album since 1980. From the early 2000s to 2008, Seals and his brother Dan, England Dan Seals of England Dan and John Ford Coley, embarked on various tours as Seals and Seals, billing themselves as Seals and Seals and performing their successful hits from Seals and Crofts and England Dan and John Ford Coley, as well as Dan's solo hits and a few original songs written between the two brothers. Joshua on bass guitar and backing vocals, and Sutherland on electric guitar performed at a handful of Jim's gigs. Seals and Crofts played a key role in England Dan and John Ford Coley's conversion to the Baha'i faith, which occurred 28 years before Coley converted to Christianity. Dan Seals passed away in 2009 from cancer. Dan and Jim Seals were writing music together at the time of his death. It's unclear what happened to the tapes. Juliet Seals Crossley and Amelia Crofts Daly, along with Genevieve Bogan Dozier, daughter of Seals and Crofts engineer Joey Bogan, founded the musical trio The Hummingbirds in December 2010. In September 2012, they released their self-titled EP, The Hummingbirds. Brady Seals, Jim's cousin, and Lewa Crofts, Dash's daughter, starred touring as Seals and Crofts 2 in 2018, covering the Seals and Crofts catalog as well as some new material. At the age of 80 in 2022, Jim Seals passed away. As of the recording of this video in June 2022, there have been no details disclosed about his demise. And also as of the recording of this video in June 2022, Dash is still alive and well. And that's what happened to Seals and Crofts. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And give me some of your favorite Seals and Crofts songs. Let me know if you've seen them live in concert. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.